Shalom Alaikum, Yasharal. Hey to the 12 tribes that are not lost but scattered, and hey to the Gentiles that are following after Yah's righteousness. In today's podcast style episode, we're going to be asking the question, can worldly women really be submissive? Y'all been sending me this clip. So y'all wanted me to talk about this clip, so I'm going to talk about this clip, okay? So, I'm not going to be playing the clip on my channel, but if you guys have seen who this young lady is, I think her name is China Monet. She's circulating around social media for her rapping about being a submissive woman, as well as performing, I guess, at a Yasharelite camp, okay? Like a Hebrew Israelite camp. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, share the video, and let's get started. Alright, so before I get started on my opinion, I want to just state and give some housekeeping, okay? This video is not intended to come at this young lady in particular, okay? We're going to be extending grace. We're just going to be expanding on the topic, and because she's just viral right now, it's causing discussion amongst the Yasharelite community. But also, I want to also give the disclaimer, I am not a part of any Yasharelite camps, okay? I'm not a part of any organizations or any Hebrew Israelite camps. It is not the same thing as just being a Yasharelite, okay? So a Yasharelite is just a descendant of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You guys know that Jacob had, his sons. They formed the 12 tribes of Yasharal, and there are biblical descendants from the Bible. And there's just biblical descendants that are walking amongst the earth, period. Whether you're Jacob or you're of Ham or Japheth. Like, we're all on this planet right now, so that's what we're dealing with, okay? So just keep that in mind, okay? I follow the way, I follow Yah Most High, hence why I have King in front of my name. The King comes before me. I announce the Father before I announce myself, in that order, okay? So let's just get into that. Like, this video is for educational purposes, because I feel like women can grow from this, women can expand from this. So let's just talk about what is going on, okay? So there is a young lady named China Monet, and she's going viral and trending right now because people are saying that she's rapping about being a submissive woman, right? So I'm not going to play the lyrics of her song on my channel, number one, for copyright, but also because the lyrics were kind of vulgar. But basically, you can see in a nutshell, I'll sum it up for y'all in a nutshell. She's basically in the song talking about she cooks, she cleans, she F's, and she shuts up. Okay? Now, the majority of the guys that are pushing this are the generic baseline Yasharelites. I call them the campianity Yasharelite dudes who they don't think any more of a woman than that. And that is just biblically incorrect, okay? And we're asking the question, can a worldly woman truly be submissive? And the answer is no. And let me tell you why, Zalling. The answer is no, because in order for you to be submissive, and we're talking about in the Yasharelite faith, right? Because we don't follow a religion. This is our culture, basically. So people keep throwing this submissive stuff out, but they do not read the whole scripture. Wives, submit yourselves to your own husbands, and likewise, husbands are also supposed to, love their wives like Hamashiach loves the church. But he's also supposed to have himself submitted to Yahweh, and therefore that relationship between those three parties can flourish, right? So if a person is not submitted to the Most High Yah, it is impossible for them to be submissive, because it's not necessarily you being submissive in a sense of you're just doing anything a man wants you to do blindly, and that's the case. That's not what submission is. That's just a fool. Like, don't be a silly woman laden with sin, okay? I found her lyrics in the song problematic, and I think a lot of these women that are worldly are starting to do this because they want to pander to low vibrational men who don't truly understand what submission is. Submission from a biblical perspective is yielding to authority. It is having respect, and it is yielding to authority. So a submissive woman that is a virtuous woman, she's going to be submitted to the king, right? Because only the Most High can perfect those things that are not, righteous in you. He has to perfect those things, make the crooked places straight in you. So if a person is not moral, they cannot submit to you. It's just not going to happen. They're going to be disloyal. They're going to be lawless. They're going to be running through the streets with their woes. They're going to be acting out, okay? A person that's not loyal and submitted to the Most High cannot be submitted to you. They're not going to be. And I think a lot of men get fooled because this is something that they want to hear. And a lot of times men who are pushing the submission doctrine, righteous men, they don't have a problem getting a woman to submit because she's going to have those skills, because the Most High is going to put those skills in her. And even if she struggles with those particular skills, he will teach her how to be the woman that is needed. So yielding to authority means that you're going to respect your husband as the head of the household. You're going to be coming to him about decision making and, important things. But you're also going to honor him because the Most High put him in that seat of authority. But do not get it twisted. If in fact your husband does something off, or he does something that is wicked, then you can go to your father, and then that will supersede what he's doing. An example of that would be Abigail, how Abigail had to do the will of Yah in trying to honor her husband, because a lot of men say, they like that part that China Monet is saying in her song, she shuts up. But women in the Torah represent wisdom. It says that the Most High in the last day, he was going to pour out his spirit. So your daughters and your sons will prophesy. In order to prophesy, you have to speak. A lot of men also kind of, put the false teaching out that women are not supposed to be teaching and all of this stuff. There were prophets and prophetesses in the Torah. A prophet is an inspired teacher. That is the definition. So it's just, we can't get in our flesh and our feelings. We can't be carnal when we read Torah just because you don't want the Most High to use a certain messenger. He doesn't need your permission to use whoever he wants to use to, because he created us. So that in submission, you would respect the hierarchy of submission. He can use whomever he created to glorify him. He can use your wife to glorify him, okay? He is a part of that marriage if it is done the correct way. He is the one who ordains your marriage. He is the one who has made your wife a wife before he even decided to gift her to you. So there is a respect factor there. It's like submission is just not a one-way street, okay? So what I didn't necessarily care for in the song, as you can see on the picture, it says whoever put the caption, I'm not sure if the young lady put the caption on there, but it says, OMG, Sexy Red is going to be upset. But if you look at this woman's attire, she is dressed like a Sexy Red. There's nothing that is separating. You can clearly see this is a sheer shirt where you can see the brassiere. This is a crop top. Again, you know, we are moving in grace. And she has skin tight pants on. And in the song, I found it odd that she was saying that women who don't have their clothes on can't keep, you know, kind of like they can't keep a man. But then the outfit that she is portraying, or if you go to her IG page, this is no different from the kind of IG models that post provocative pictures on their Instagram. So it's the same Marine Kingdom attire, like the false hair, the nails, the eyes, and it clearly says like the daughters of Zion would be the biggest people who suffer from this haughtiness and walking around with, you know, sauce, what is it? Minced eyes. That's what I meant to say. Minced eyes and elegant, you know, moving their elegant necks around. So when she's rapping, she's doing all of those elegant moves with her neck, and, you know, the attire is not something that is saying that you're in submission to your man, because out of respect for your husband, you're not gonna have your body. First of all, out of respect for the Most High as his daughter, you're gonna know that you're precious enough to not have your body in provocative mode on display to the whole world, okay? And like I said, we're not really coming for her necessarily. It's just this thought process that a lot of worldly kind of Christian women are doing, where they think that they could be provocative and saved at the same time. Light has nothing to do with darkness and should not, you know, commingle, because any corruption can leaven the whole lump. You can't do it, right? But there's a lot of people who they bring this defilement into the congregation, and we have to start speaking on this sort of stuff. Like this is a no. This is clearly a woman who is worldly. I expect nothing but worldliness from her. She's clearly showing through her attire, through her actions or whatever. And I just think that she's kind of using this as, you know, kind of like the women on YouTube who are like red pill, and they're kind of pandering to men who are kind of like, they want submission, but they're really not getting submission because of maybe lack of leadership skills, lack of righteousness. Like, you are, which, okay, so whatever you're attracting, you have to take a look at yourself to see spiritually, are you holding a beacon or like some type of homing device that is attracting whatever it is to you. So if you are a woman that wears this marine attire, right, because she also was talking about in the song, she F's. Like, F's, she says she F's and she shuts up. It reminded me of a prostitute that a man just pays to be quiet and F's and just sends you packing on your way. Like, and I said, you know, we're extending grace here because I know that in Babylon, it is normalized for women to walk around and exist in sensuality, and they kind of put the label of, they try to stamp womanhood on that, right? Being submissive is way deeper than you just being quiet. And then also the F part, I just didn't like how it was so low vibrational that we're even describing a sacred act, such as, if you're being submissive, that's supposed to be a sacred act between you and your husband that is honoring, and it's not defiled also, because you can't be just doing anything. That's supposed to be, you know, honorable, even in that, to the Most High. So it's kind of like, to describe, you know, that sacred act as that is crazy too. But it's like, in Babylon, everything is cheapened Everything that's supposed to be held sacred is cheapened. So I really cannot blame a lot of these women, because in Babylon it is taught that you need to be sensual. It is taught that you need to be selling sensuality. It is taught, like, they don't teach you about, what marriage is. They don't teach you the sacredness of that particular consummation of marriage, that union that happens when you are having relations. Like, they don't teach you about soul ties, spirit spouses. They don't teach you about any of that, right? And a lot of our daughters of Zion have been indoctrinated into the marine kingdom due to just fashion and sensuality. This stuff is pushed at these girls. And if you are a young lady that you want to be exy on the gram, or you may have fallen short in areas where you have done things before the time, you were awakened before the time, because a lot of our daughters of Zion whose innocence have been plucked off before the time. Come back to the Father. Come back to the Father. Okay? It is never too late to repent if you have been given another opportunity. That is true submission. Being humble. Repenting for sin. Washing yourself so that you are presentable before the King, right? Because when you go on to the other side, your husband is only one aspect of that, okay? Like, he has to stand before the king and the judge himself. So you want to make sure that you're right with Abaya. And in doing that, you have to unlearn all of this stuff that Babylon teaches you. Such as the fashion, such as the attitude and the way that you perceive men, right? Because submission is allowing the Most High to correct things, allowing him to teach you what marriage actually is. And in our society, in Babylon, I should say, they teach infantilism. So women exist in girlhood. This is why they cannot get into true submission, because they're in girlhood. This is why the Most High said, when I was a child, I thought as a child. When I became a man, that's when you start to elevate your thinking. In Babylon, they don't teach you that. There's nothing different between Sexy Red and the way that this young lady is presenting. I would not, it's nothing different. Sexy Red wear them same long nails, the marine nails, the same lace front with the two swoops, the same provocative outfits, the same crop tops. There's nothing different. I would say it would be more submission if I was looking at a Yasharelite woman who was covered up, who's telling you to turn away from wickedness, who is showing example that she is in submission to the Most High by honoring and respecting herself, but also honoring and respecting her husband, so that she's not making her husband a shame in the public, or not even just bringing shame to your lineage also. So it's like we have to unlearn it. Like I said, ladies, this is not to cast judgment on anybody, or to police how anybody is doing anything, because people are going to do what they want to do anyway. I'm just bringing attention to the fact that you cannot mix dark with light. Those are two different kingdoms, right? The Most High rather you be hot or cold, not lukewarm. So if you want to start talking about submission, you got to start with the Father first. So to let him deliver you from the marine attire, the sensuality, because a lot of young ladies, they don't realize, being in Babylon, a lot of the fashion and stuff that they teach you to wear is designed to make you a siren. It is designed to make you haughty. It is designed to cause demon possession. And when you have all of those things going on, you're not submitting because that entity is not gonna, number one, want you to. It's gonna have you with your neck switching around, attitudinal, eyes rolling. It's gonna be possession. It's gonna be a haughty type of possession. Jezebel painted her face. You don't hear about any of the other virtuous women in the Torah painting their face and putting on marine attire and talking about they F and they shut up. Like that is just. And then you have so-called Yasharelite men. See, the Most High is gonna start exposing a lot of these so-called Yasharelite men, because everybody that is melanated is not a Yasharelite. We need to be supporting righteous individuals that are submitted to the Most High Yah. And I know it might feel good to men to hear a woman talking about submission, but we need to make sure that we're looking at true submission. And not, a tune that it sound good, but we still looking at the same sexy red type of behavior. Because if a woman is talking about she F, the whole world should not know what a woman is doing in her bedroom chambers. It used to be a time when women used to be classy and discreet about those things. And now in Babylon, it's so normalized for women to be just so sensualized. They think it's liberation. And I don't know, in the song, I just didn't like that, okay, sisters, she was making some points that there's some sisters that need to get themselves together. So she did have some punchlines in the song where some sisters needed to get themselves together. But the representation, it's like, we got to have the right messengers putting these messages out. Now, I'm going to tell you, I would respect it if she say she gave her life to Yah and she was really walking in that. She changed up her attire. She looks like a virtuous woman that is serving the Most High. And she wants to start talking about the submission message. But other than that, I just feel like it's at the pandering level. Where I'ma just come up with this red pill stuff so that worldly Yasharelite men who got wicked, perverse ways get into this tune, and because they're gonna be the ones getting finessed. Please believe that they're gonna be the ones sending them cash apps, putting money up, because then it's so crazy though, because you're gonna have men getting on their wives' nerves at home with this foolishness. And it's like, no, your wife specifically was designed by the Most High for you, and was designed with the capability and the helpmate materials to deal with you specifically. So it's annoying too, because Yasharelite men, so-called Yasharelite men, it's weird. Like, I honestly, like, when they start feeling a certain girl, like, they'll start trying to send her tutorials to try to mold that woman into who they want that woman to be. And it's so weird. It's like, no, like, a woman that is supposed to be your wife is fine-tuned to you because she's sent by the Most High. So she's already going to have the capabilities in her. The Most High is going to be telling her what you need. And also, she's going to have the fruits of the Spirit and the tools that she needs in order to be submissive, because she's already going to know to be submissive to the Most High. But anyway, what are y'all's thoughts on China Monet's submission rap? Do y'all think that this is something that is cool? Are you gonna pass? Are you feeling it? Leave it in the comment section below, and I will see y'all soon on the next video. Shalom.